Hi, everyone. That is my third time crying during that fucking video. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Symphony Lounge. This is our very first lounge of 2025. And if we're going to do it, we're going to talk about the last family reunion we had. And if we're going to talk about the last family reunion we had and we're going to do it for the first time, we got to bring the Booch. Booch, introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are, baby.
My name is Bucho, also production daddy, also perv number one, Symphony's biggest fan, and potential organizer of the first annual Symphony LARP orgy.
Yes, Tracy, you did see LARP orgy. Listen, if Symphony goes to Chaosium Con 2026 and has a Symphony After Dark at a local dungeon, don't say shit. Just back us. Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. That astonishing video that this is literally the third time that I started crying on it was created by Carl, who is our asset daddy. Thank you to everyone who contributed photos and videos and experience not only to this video, but to another video you're going to see here shortly. Carl, well, Bucho organized all of that data, and then Carl went through with his just pure majesty of sexiness and awesomeness and assembled that video, music, editing, everything. So, Carl, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Booch, you ready to hop in?
I am ready to hop in. We got some fans of the dungeon already in the chat.
We got fans of the dungeon already?
We're we're rolling nicely today.
So, Bucho, this is me looking you dead in the face and just
Hmm.
talking to you with no one else listening.
Yeah, ain't nobody hill.
You know we're actually probably going to rent out a dungeon and do this shit next year, right?
I mean, we kind of have to.
We kind of have to now, right? Like, I'm excited about it. We can do all our
Here's
negotiations and consent on the front end, rent a dungeon, and call it a day.
Well, here's the thing. The only problem is with Southwest now charging for baggages, or bags
Uh
that
huh.
fly. It'll be hard. I may have to just pack up the car with my equipment and make the
Yeah.
drive, but that's an 11-hour drive, and I'm old and broken, so
That
that's.
no one's doing that, Bucho. But you know what you could do? You could ship that shit to me, and I could drive it for you.
I don't think you understand. I could not ship that much stuff.
You don't have to bring the entire trunk, baby. We could. Okay, Bucha. Symphony After Dark. We'll have a whole conversation about this later. Jumping into Chaosium Con 2025. Bucho was awesome enough to ask some questions that I hadn't considered to actually give us some comparative data that I also hadn't considered. So, Bucho, talk us through some of the numbers on what we look like compared from Chaosium Con 2024 to Chaosium Con 2025 with with the note, guys, this was Chaosium Con in Ann Arbor's fourth year. So it happened year one, two, three, and this was the fourth. So we're just comparing the last year.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things that I thought about because I'm a numbers nerd. Like I like to see patterns. That's kind of what I do at my job every once in a while. And so I looked through the all of the possible events for the con through tabletop events
Mm-hmm.
and wrote down how many of them there were. And so there were 290 total event types this year,
Jesus.
up 35 from last year, at least as far as we can tell, because
Okay.
I think some of the data that you got from 2024 was not full,
Correct. Some of it
but
was corrupted or didn't carry over. Correct.
yeah, yeah. So we'll just talk about this year and kind of like how that compares to the information we do have.
Mm-hmm.
So, border card games, there were 25 of them. Demos, there were zero. LARPs, one.
Those
Last year there were
ours.
two. Live shows, there were five of them, with three of them being the same event just three times.
Okay.
Um, Lurking Fears, they had 33 games listed, no change from last year, so about the same.
Okay.
RPGs by other GMs or keepers were at 175 available to choose from, down a year from, or down one from last year. You also had the RuneQuest Masters tournament this year, which, clearly we didn't have it last year.
Right.
Um, but there were 16 seminars and panels this year, down five from last year.
Interesting on
Um,
that one. And we were down a lot of the big special guests too. We'll talk about that here
yeah,
in a second. But yeah, but that
yeah.
makes sense.
Socials and parties, there were five of those. VIP events, there were 11, which is down two from last year.
Which also makes
And
sense.
then And then the U2 Camp Cthulhu events, their games, they had 18 this year, which was down 2 from last year. So, for any of you who are interested in weird metrics, those are some weird metrics for you.
Yeah.
So,
And this is me throwing some perspective on those weird metrics. So Chaosium has rolled out not one, not two, not three, but four fucking Chaosium cons this year. So Ann Arbor has already happened in the States. The next one up is going to be that one out in the UK, and then there's Australia, and then they added on Poland this year. Chaosium Con is not like a big, massive company, so they can't afford to fly everybody everywhere. So we
yeah.
were down on some of our heavy hitting people, like Mike Mason wasn't there this year. We had limited special guests and things of that nature. So it makes sense to me that some of the panels that you would expect. Also, I'll talk about that in a second. But so, yeah, it would make sense that some of those panels would be slightly reduced, or some of those
I,
VIP games would be reduced because people weren't there. Some people weren't there.
I think there were some external reasons why many people were not there this year as well.
And,
So yeah,
listen,
that's not a small. It's not a
that is not a
small
small
thing.
thing. No, 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 no. We for
Yeah.
sure, and I won't name their names, but I will say we had somebody that flew in from Chaosium from the UK that had 3 different people spot checking to make sure they actually successfully made it through the border.
hmm
That's a
I'm
real,
I'm not I'm not surprised by that.
yeah. That's not. It's yeah. 2025 walked in with some serious struggles, and it's hitting the gaming industry specifically in a lot of eviscerating and door closing ways. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So we were reduced on numbers on some of our like special guests or the people that you may expect to see, but we still had a really healthy showing of people that were there. So non-Chaosium people, we also had Tom Sullivan, who was back, that looked like he was making fist over hand money on his prints and his signatures again. There was also Seth Korkowski. He was back this year because he wasn't
Yep.
here last year. He was in a wedding. John Hook was here, XP Lovecat. So there were still some great non-Chaosium faces that were there.
Yeah, it was a great crowd. It was a fantastic crew. I mean, again, using the bar area as a hub to kind of see everybody and hang out with everybody is a really nice feature of that hotel. It's
Yeah.
just like it's beautifully centrally located between everything.
I agree. Between the convention space and the hotel space, you're gonna crash into that hub, that almost that heartbeat of the convention,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is nice. Chuck, you asked a brilliant question. And one thing I did want to address because I had to pull it up on another screen really fast. Chaosium Con attendees that were there were Jeremiah, myself, David Larkins. We had Chandler Kinley, Rick Meintz, Janelle, Jeff Richard, Neil Robinson, Dustin Wright, and of course, the Matt Ryan was also there. Question about badges. So, baby, I no longer have access to the financials of the backside of that convention, but the last time I looked, we were for sure over 500 people. And I want to say my badge count was around 560, 570, but that gets into some weird duplication issues in tabletop events because we had a lot of GMs that bought their badges and then ran 12 hours an event, and we're in this weird reverse loop because we told people not to do that, but then they did it anyway. So we're giving them reimbursements back, but Tabletop Events has 2 badges for them. So I'll have to get the exact count from Rick or Jeremiah, honey, but it was definitely over 500. If I had to put 20 on it, I would put it around maybe 520, 530, which is up from last year when we almost broke 500, but not quite. Tiffany, thank you. Thank you for the tier sub, babe. Yeah. So that's what's going on, notable people. And if you guys have additional questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. We're looking at it.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to flirt with you, mess with you, and then kind of go over some of that stuff with you guys too. So yeah, that's what we're
But
looking at attendant wise.
that's not bad.
No,
Not bad.
no,
And
we're
it did,
growing each year.
and I will say it did feel so because we ended up kind of, I mean, we've used those rooms before, but not to that capacity, that middle area where the community content was laid out. Like those 3 salons have typically been they've typically been the like panels or seminars.
Just so I know what you're talking about. The middle area where community content is, you're talking about the 2 salons on either side where there's panels and seminars in.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we used them last year too.
Yeah, but this is the first year we've used those rooms to their capacity.
Yes. You're talking about the 3 on
Which,
the other side of that?
well, the 3 behind, like
The 3
so
behind. Yeah. The 3 ballrooms.
everything behind it. Yeah.
Correct. We rented those for the very first time this year to accommodate the overflow of GMs and the
Yeah.
increase in people. Yes. Yeah.
It's interesting because I was thinking about it this morning. Like, I think that's why it almost made me feel like it was a sparsely attended con
Yep.
because we had moved, because everything had typically in the previous years been all the way upstairs in those rooms up on the second floor.
Correct. In the actual convention center portion. Correct.
Yeah. So to have all of those other tables and other games going on there was like, I think it spread people out so much that
It did.
it definitely felt more
Like we were down 300 people.
unintentionally down. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The perception was not awesome.
No. Correct. Because it definitely looked more sparsely attended because we had more room to spread out in. The same effect happens every time I go to UConn, which is hosted by a different group in that same hotel in October, November. I'll walk through. It's like, man, it looks like there's 7 people in this con. We get to figure a number, and they're like, we hit 1,200 people. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
did y'all?
I mean, but Rena's right. They didn't have to scream to be heard. I mean, that was a really nice thing, not being stuck in a
Yeah.
room with like 7 tables of people all
Yes.
gaming. Like,
Yes. That spread out, it helps with air, it helps with movement, it helps with body odor, it helps
mhm.
with sound for sure. And then just so you guys have context, those 3 major rooms in the ballroom, 2 of them were lurking fears and then the other 2 were large ones. Those were 12 to 14 tables apiece. So we literally added almost 40 additional gaming tables that were running off through the con. Plus, we started assigning some games over to the Elizabeth Ann room after the mixer too. So we were definitely spread out.
Wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know they were over there.
Yeah. Not many. We had a couple pickup games over there, and just like a couple of those board games took like I can't remember the name of it. One of them damn board games took up like 3 tables just to set it up. So we were throwing those over in the Elizabeth Ann room too. Yep.
Was it Horror on the Orient Express? Were they demoing that?
No, baby, is and don't get me the line with you. It's somebody's Lovecraftian board game, but it wasn't Horror on the Orient Express. It was another one that literally takes like 2 or 3 tables to spread the hell out on. Chad, if you know
Wow.
what we're talking about, let us know.
Arkham Horror, maybe?
Or Miskatonic somebody.
Yeah.
Listen, send thoughts and prayers. If I go through the
Yeah.
pictures hard enough, I'll be able to find one where I was like, oh, yep, there it is, overflowing its ass off. Yep. Somebody just said Cthulhu Wars. Yo, babe, I think it might be Cthulhu Wars. Is that the one
It's
that's like
possible.
the box is like this, and then by the
That's
time
a
you
that's
set
a
up everything?
that's a Peterson game, so it's very possible.
So,
Yeah.
whoo, God, I'm just. I have so many jokes about that, and I haven't decided whether we should share that story live on air or not. But that's some good time. That might be a backer only story. All right, Bucho. Another thing that was notable about this convention, this was the celebration of the 50th anniversary of Chaosium. So Chaosium turned 50 this year. This slew of conventions are all in celebration, especially of the 50th anniversary. The only programming activation that we had for that one was the Thursday night mix and greet mingle mixer was themed, 50th anniversary IP. So you had everything from Vikings, pirates, Bronze Age politicians, flappers, cultists, and everything. It was a big hodgepodge of literally you could play your very first Cthulhu character, you could play your favorite Rune Quest hero, you could be Rena was one of the sexiest pirates I've seen in a long time. Fucking Tiffany came through with sexy ass pirate shit going on too. So that was pretty much the big party there. And then I think the other thing they did to celebrate, there was a bunch of free shit. Thank you, Lily.
Yeah, there was stuff that was passed out at registration.
Yeah.
There were the dice, there was the 50th pens.
Yep.
I saw the cake.
Yep.
Um,
Which was
but
sweet. The hotel did that for us.
oh, that's nice.
Yep.
Um, yeah, but I really didn't see. I don't know. Like I did not see a whole lot of programming for that
Yeah.
that would have made it stand out from prior years. Like that's not to say it didn't exist, but like
It wasn't
I
honed in
didn't
on.
I didn't come across any of it. So
Yeah.
other than at the mixer.
Yeah. There
Um,
was the mixer, the free shit at the table, which was also like ribbons and
yeah,
fun stylized ribbons. There were also stickers, eyeglass wipe cleaners, lip gloss, pins. There was a bunch of like freebie shit that was there. But no, you're right. Bucho, I say the only program that I'm just remembering it now is there was a video collage that was put together with some old Greg Stafford video clips from like
yeah,
years and years ago that had been stored in somebody's basement and had just seen the light of day. So Rick did host a very, from what I didn't attend, but from what I heard, this is just a very beautiful video kind of collage thing where, people who loved Greg, celebrated Greg, or still playing Greg's games could sit there and kind of remember him on the 50th. That
that's
is
nice.
That was, yeah. I didn't get to see it, but I heard
Where
about
wa-
it after the fact.
where was that?
Baby, get me lying to you. I think it was hosted Saturday night, and I believe it was hosted in one of those two salons. They put up
Huh.
a projection screen and hosted it in one of those two salons.
Interesting. Oh, like
Yeah,
I was that part of the TTE event list?
it was on the TTT event list. I believe so. But while
Hmm.
we're looking at that, I'm just going to go look to see if I still have access and can see it.
That would have been interesting. I remember talking to when I volunteered the first year. I remember talking to his wife, and she was lovely.
Yeah, his wife is sweet.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and this is like early on when I knew nothing about the company, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Don't you know who I am?" I was like, "Nope."
Nope.
Sorry, I'm
Nope. I
new
just
and I'm
got here.
stupid. Sorry, but you seem really nice. So, yeah, she was great. She was really great.
You're like, nope, I sure don't. But did you get your badge already? What do you need right now? What can I help you with? I
Yeah,
love you, Bucho.
I got to overhear a lot of really fun stories about him while I was sitting at that table. So
Yeah.
that was a cool experience.
Good. 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 And now you said that was your very first year?
That
Was
was
your
the
first
first
year
year.
year two or okay?
No, first year was year one. That was super competent.
Wow. Yeah. That was my super competent.
Yeah.
Baby, I am trying in the back office to pull together some of these events, and they're kind of populating.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking to see if that video event was on the official schedule, which I'm pretty sure it was. I'm just curious.
So that was Saturday night.
I mean, if I lie you straight to your face, yes.
That's fair.
That's what we're kind of looking at there. Yeah. But Tiffany in the chat just said it right now too, is that that was one of the first things that I'm assuming she's talking about. She and her husband Darius had said that the 50th aspect of it wasn't really present. So in your
Yeah.
opinion, Bucho, if we're looking back, and I know you touched on this in your blog too, if we could have celebrated the 50th harder, would have been some things that you could have expected or wanted to see.
Um, I don't know. I think I know in years past there's been showings of some of the H.P. Lovecraft's historical society films. Just like one-offs here and there, and I think being able to have like a room where those are just constantly playing would have been fun. Like I don't know what the agreement is with
Mm,
Chaosium and them, or like I wouldn't know. I don't know if there's any kind of a financial thing for that, but like that would have been really cool just to kind of pop in during a movie and leave when it's done. But like maybe the next one starts right over, just
right.
something.
To move in and out. Tiffany in
Um,
chat said special games would have been a good idea. More signage would have been a good one. More guests or speakers. I think you said to me, Bucho, a toast would have been nice, like at the mixer event. If
yeah,
staff had done a toast or someone had done a presentation for the 50th, that could have been dope.
uh, yeah. I mean, probably just anything really. That really put a fine point on the history of the company. It just wasn't something I saw.
Yeah,
So, and I may have missed a lot of it too. So, which is fair.
which is fair. Listen, we walked in with 2025 with some struggles. That is what it is. That is
We
what it
did.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. I came in a very not awesome headspace. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Um. Oh, Nate just came out with a good one. I was hoping that they would have had GMs running all the Cult of Chaos games in some year. That would have been good if there was nothing but a Cult of Chaos fleet of games. That's actually a
Oh,
really good idea, Nate. Rena's ass. A ritual to awaken the Great Cthulhu would have been great. All jokes aside, that's something that Symphony should plan for next year is a ritual. Just like it's a 2-hour event, we all sit in a dark room, do some weird chanting, fun shit, and then we could do a ritual, babe.
next year, if there's a wedding party, we sit out there at the fire pits
Stop.
and we do it in robes.
Yo, yo, let me write that down in these notes. A ritual
You don't
party.
need to. It's
You
right
got
here.
it? Okay. It's if
It's
if Bucho has it, Bucho has it.
none of these motherfuckers in chat are going to forget it either. Like, not one of them.
The only person that's gonna forget is me. It'll be next year. It's like, Bridgett, remember the dungeon and the ritual? I'm like, dungeon and ritual. Oh yeah,
Talk to
dungeon and ritual.
Bucho. Yeah. Yeah.
A ritual. Actually, thank you, Rena, for our next programming for 2026. Symphony is going to be running some type of a ritual. Okay, all right. Bucho, looking at the list, there are two major things we have to hit. It's the lounge.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about the LARP, and we got to drop the LARP cookies, and we
Yeah.
definitely got to do the thirst.
Yeah.
Where's somewhere else we can go before we choose one of those two to play with? You want to talk about the community content mixer? You want to talk about...
Let's talk about the content mixer because I missed it this year. I think I was in a game when it was happening. Um, yeah.
Yep.
So how did that go?
Well, let's have XP Lovecat tell you first, and then I'll cycle back and let you know how that bad boy went.
Hi, I'm XP Lovecat. I'm here at Chaosium Con 2025, and I am here next to the print on demand table, which means basically all these awesome, cool creators have made wonderful scenarios for Chaosium role-playing games. So there's a bunch of really cool content here. This, The Well of All Fear, won the ENnie Award in August at Gen Con. Woohoo! Some excitement going on.
Congrats, Cat!
So I'm so excited to be here. Please check out all this awesome community content. Have a good day. Bye.
My loud ass. So for the third year, we have brought back the community content pop-up store. Nick Brook did not make it over from the UK this year. He will be at the Chaosium Con UK, but he didn't make it over this year. So several volunteers and Scott and Andy and a few of us threw together to get that bad boy off and popping. Not to start with a thorn, but let's address an egregious mistake that happened, Bucho. We scheduled it during a game block. I totally fucking didn't even think about it or realize it until Rena said something to me at dinner. I was just like, I'll be damned. And Rena just mentioned it. They just mentioned it in chat again. That is one of those events that needs to take place in between gaming blocks. And we had it dead center in the middle of a block. So people were running out of the game to try to get books so they could run back to their game. But the pop-up store was, late getting started because fucking Square had a meltdown on us and there was a bunch of blah, 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 blah. That was one major thorn. We should not have hosted that bad boy during a game block. It should happen in between events.
Yeah, I don't agree. Or I do agree with that.
Yeah.
It can be, and I have never, as someone who has never put a con together, it is easy to be critical.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that would seem to make sense that you would try to fit that. I mean, but you want everything to kind of fit in between. Like the ideal is everybody being able to do everything all at once.
Right. Which is something that you can't do. You can't do it. We can't do it. The world can't do it.
Fucking impossible. So there are certain things that have to be allowed for and certain timing and blah blah blah. So I get that. But it seems like you would definitely want to put that like very firmly in between games.
In between games. Yeah.
I think you would probably want to do something like the auction as well. Like
auction might be a good call to do in between games too, but the auction is longer than an hour, so either way you're going to straddle that one.
Yeah. But that's fine. But I think you end up having a lot of people turn out for the auction.
Yeah.
For good reason, because there are a lot of collectors. There's a lot of good stuff still out there floating around.
Yeah.
So it's you got to take the good and the bad.
I agree.
Sometimes you're going to hit it. Sometimes you're going to miss it. So
I agree. But for the community pop-up stand, for us doing it for the third year, I think all of the MR, that's the Miskatonic Repository, the Call of Cthulhu stuff sold out except for I think 2 books, and then there was a small handful of RuneQuest stuff that was left over. But you guys tear that booth up. When Square went down, we were forced to go to cash only, and right when Square went back up, I went into the computer just to see how we had done. And Bucho, it was something goofy, like we had turned over $1,400 in cash in under 20 minutes.
That's unfucking real.
Oh my God, you guys tore that community content booth to pieces. I mean, you absolutely shredded it. And just thank you to all of the creators who were bold enough to publish something and then get it put on the print and keep pushing. Congratulations. To Nick Brook, who is going to make sure that every creator got paid for the books that sold at Chaosium Con. You are the true MVP. And everyone that was super patient during that entire debacle, because that was a whole mess. Like Square went down in our area and then it went down into dealer hall and it was scheduled poorly and it was a mess and I had an attitude. And thank you. Thank you for everyone who made that possible. And congrats to everyone that was sitting on that table, because that was absolutely stunning. Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of stunning, just because we're talking about all the amazing authors that were on that table, just here's another quick video of just some of the books that were there. So we're just going to pop this on real fast. And the community content pop-up store is happening at Chaosium Con Ann Arbor very soon. We're going to be opening up here in about 20 minutes. This is the setup. Look at all of this deliciousness that Nick Brook, Chaosium Ambassador, was able to purchase for us. We've got RuneQuest. We've got Call of Cthulhu. We've even got Pendragon. It is a stunning, stunning spread. So, pop-up store opening up here soon, guys. We'll see you soon. Bucho, let me tell you. You know the Pendragon Companion Author platform just launched like earlier this year, or maybe late last year, sometime within like the last 6 months. Let's say that.
Yeah.
We had a small handful of Pendragon printed books here. They got devoured. I can't tell you how many almost conflicts I witnessed where somebody was putting the book down so they could count out either their money or to count out the next book, and somebody tried to grab it. It was like, no, I'm buying it. It was Pendragon was eaten alive, baby.
Wow.
Babe, them Pendragons barely got put on the table before they were off on somebody's hands, unless somebody was getting ready to fight over them.
So I know they've been pushing that pretty hard recently. Like, is that a new IP that's come out? Is that what I'm understanding? Like, is it a new, like, I don't really pay attention to that kind of game.
No, baby, Pendragon's been around for a minute. I want to say this might be the 6th edition right now, but we're just now launching a community content platform for it.
Gotcha.
So that's what's kind of new. And I think Mark Morrison is the head ambassador over there. And baby, I think he launched that bad boy maybe 6 months or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Skip is in the comments saying it was fun. Yeah, Pendragon has a lot of big flavor, and you can tell a lot of really big stories in Pendragon. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
All right, Sugar Pie. Thirst or LARP?
They're both really good.
They're both really good.
They're both really good.
So
I haven't even seen the pictures for the Thirst yet, and I know they're really good.
How you want to do it?
Let's give them the LARP.
Give them the LARP?
Yeah,
oh, Chuck says LARP too.
Edge them out.
Okay, edge them out.
Fucking Nate.
Edge them out. What did Nate say?
Nate.
Bucho is Pendragon, not Pendragon. Nate, isn't the river calling you? Isn't there a lake somewhere that you're supposed to be asleep beneath? Like, go back to the water, babe. Just go back to the water. Up. Okay, Tomboy is screaming LARP too. All right, guys, let's briefly talk about the LARP, and then let's show you some pieces of the LARP. So, according to Nate's correction, this was the second inaugural, are you happy, Nate, LARP for Symphony that was run at Chaosium Con. So last year we ran a custom system that Heinrich and I created together, and we ran that one. And then this year I hired D. Clyde Williamson, which is my old storyteller for my vampire LARP, who runs renowned Cthulhu LARPs, to write and run this one. So he did. He used the 3rd edition Cthulhu Live rules, which you can find on DriveThruRPG right now. And he wrote and developed and cultivated this entire story all by himself. I had zero input. I didn't help. I paid him to do it, and then I got out of his way because he's brilliant and he doesn't need me. And that's exactly what he did. I just handled all of his logistics as far as like assigning character sheets and swap outs and things of that nature, promotion. But he did all of the writing himself. And I think the finished product and the finished experience was pretty dope. Bucho, hit him with the video.
Yeah, because I just put the link to the Cthulhu Live 3rd edition LARP product in drive-thru in the chat. So
you are, God, man, it's so good to have a Bucho on your side. We'll see you guys after this video.
So, I'm Angelica Price of Titan Technologies, and at Titan Technologies, we aspire to grow the mind organically. By growing the mind organically, we foster creativity, quality, ethics, and Dr. Choi here could go a lot more into like some of the crazy cool things that she and our lab have been doing.
your work here at the project?
Out of character or in character? In character, he'd shoo you away.
In character.
In character?
Yeah.
Go away.
Creeps forth this heavy pace from daytime. Listen to the last syllable of reported time. And all our yesterdays have went fools the way to this life. Out, brief cancer. Life has been a walk in shadows. Poor player. And then it's heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Well, that was a little bit weird, don't you think?
Y'all, fucking Carl again.
Yeah. Yeah. That was man, I read through the script of it, I think like 2 nights before making it to the hotel. It's like, oh shit.
All 28 pages for a 3-hour game. Clyde was thorough.
Bro.
So, Bucho, this is your second year. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I was. We're probably about to say the same thing, but like, as someone who does not LARP,
yeah,
I think coming into this one, knowing more about what was going on, number one, it certainly helped me inform where to be and what was going on, and like get the right video and whatnot. So that was super helpful. It was. God, there's so many narratives going on all at once. Like, I really wanted to be a fly on every conversation.
Yeah.
Because, like, so many of them just seem super interesting. And then there was the moment where all of them went to go stand against the wall. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
What just happened?
Like, yeah. So, like, I may not have been involved in it, but I was in it. So, yeah. Very entertaining for me.
Yes. Good. Thank you so much, Bucho. Genuinely, thank you so much for all of the capture and the video. Rena, thank you so much for all of the amazing footage that you were able to contribute. So, guys, Rena was playing an NPC video influencer, and they just doubled down with that with like actual marketing capture that we can use. Like, guys, y'all don't understand. They had some of the most hilarious, or some of the most horrifying, or some of the most random fucking interviews with random guests at this event, and it was absolutely stellar. Definitely knocked it out of the park for the second year. I'm not going to articulate on this video what the bad guy was, because everyone in the LARP that knows. And the only reason I'm not going to articulate it is because I'm running the same LARP again at Gen Con. So I don't want to spoil it for people who might be signing up for the event at Gen Con. But I will say this much. I promise you it will not be the same entity for Chaosium Con 2026. I promise we'll choose something different. Clyde didn't know that I used that same monster in 2024. He didn't know. I will make sure whoever writes the next one, or if it's me, because now that I'm not organizing, I might have time to write it. It won't be that same monster. Promise.
Yeah.
It might be that same monster just to troll the shit out of Nate.
Which would be really entertaining. It might. Now that's a thought.
Just to aggravate Nate and maybe Miranda. I think I could get Miranda with that one too. Yeah. Guys, massive thank you for the LARP. We sold 40 tickets with a wait list, which is impressive.
Wow.
Symphony upcharged $15 per ticket, except for I did give a comp code to everyone that was a Symphony backer, no matter what your level was. So if you were a $2 backer, if you're a $100 a month backer, you got a free ticket to the event. I gave you a comp code for that. Several backers chose not to use the code and still paid for the event. Thank you. You guys fucking rock, especially for a small Black business owner. Thank you. I genuinely appreciate that. That money is being sent. I'm splitting that and sending the rest to Clyde. So Chaosium took theirs off the top, and on top of what I contractually agreed to with Clyde, I'm going to be splitting that money with him. So thank you guys for investing in me. That gives me the ability to invest in other people. Because that man drove all the way up with his girlfriend, one of his best friends, spent all that time writing that 28-page document, ran that entire LARP, and then drove back home the next morning. Like, thank you for that. Oh, no, Nate, listen, we might do it again just to troll your ass. We might do it again just to troll your ass. Just to make you mad. All right. That's the LARP, baby. Where you want to go next? You want to hit some backer questions, or you want to go over the rest of let's knock out the rest of the convention experiences.
Let's do that.
Let's go ahead and knock that out.
Let's talk about some food, because I do.
Food is important.
The food is it's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yep.
And I have found myself deviating from food on the property to food off the property.
Yep.
More and more every year.
Yep.
Yeah, because I will say that the bar food tends to be more hit than miss.
That's true.
But
they do hit more than they miss.
I have not really enjoyed the buffet outside of the gaming
right.
areas. So I have typically done grocery shopping and bought some snacks, or tried to find some places around the area that are cheaper, just to go and mostly just to hang out with people too. Like it's predominantly more of a social thing than it is like
for sure
than a sustenance thing, if that makes sense. Like it could literally be the worst pizza off campus, as long as I've got like 5 or 6 people and we're making fun of whatever, probably the pizza, like whatever.
Yeah. Agreeing with you massively, Skip, as I went to sleep as I'm trying to type to you. As I'm talking to you and typing to you at the same time, Skip, I just can't get enough of you. I got to get you in every way possible. I absolutely agree with Bucho. So if you guys aren't aware, the hotel has Chaosium contractually obligated to hit a minimum food and beverage quota, which is pretty standard when you're dealing with arrangements of this nature, conventions, weddings, things of this nature. And our food and beverage minimum, I don't remember from the contract, guys, but it's probably either $12,000, $13,000, $14,000. We do not get any food credit from anything sold at the bar, even if we sell out the entire hotel. The only food credit that we get is from like those little pop-up stands, the little catering stands that they have where they're selling like the burgers or the pizza or the breakfast sandwiches and things of that nature. Now, like Chaosium paid for the mimosas this year for the community content group, and they also pay for all the food that you got at the mixer. All of that applies towards the food and beverage minimum. But like, let's say the food and beverage minimum is $20,000 and we only sell $7,000 worth of food. That means Chaosium has to cut that hotel a check for $13,000. If you don't meet the food and beverage minimum, you have to pay the difference, which is why we're constantly pushing people to eat, consume, and engage with the food that's set out on that catering memory so we can afford to keep hosting the con there. Because if we have to start pushing out that type of money just to get the contract and then fail to meet the terms of it, then, that's coming out of, Chaosium's profits, which is going to hurt the viability that the convention can return year after year. To that point, the catering food is just trash. I don't know any way to say it. It's just not good. The breakfast isn't good. The lunch isn't good. The dinner isn't good. But to Bucho's point, if you've only got 40 minutes between games and you got 7 of your friends around, grabbing the $7 sloppy burger and the over-greased tater tots and sitting down, it will get you fed. It will get you full. It will get you through. And that's fine. The room coffee is abysmal, and it should be ashamed of itself, and it should go straight to hell and never come back. Thank God that the Bear Claw food truck was back. So you can at least get up in the morning and go get your fucking Bear Claw coffee. And to Skip's point and to Bucho's point, yes, that centralized hub, that heartbeat of the con that we were talking about, that bar, the food is definitely more hit than it is miss. Yes. The problem is the speed in which it comes out, or even trying to find service to get an order in, is a mess. I think one time I sat down and it was 2 hours from start to finish for me to even get someone's attention finally, after asking for it 3 or 4 times, them getting the order and the food finally coming out. And that's before you actually start consuming.
Yeah. And I will say, Matt is a fucking G.
Matt is dope. Thank God for Matt. Yes.
Like, whenever Matt's there, things move. Like, it's like things are going well.
Yeah.
Like, having worked in the restaurant industry, I know when things are going well because he's there. Like,
Because he's
you can
there.
see it.
Yeah.
You can see it. And he's been there the last 4 years.
The
So
last 4
like
years. Yeah. Matt's
he
been there.
he knows everybody. He remembers everybody. Like,
Yeah.
Matt's great.
Yeah.
We just need like 4 or 5 more Matts. That's all.
Yeah. To go ahead and get that ball moving. Yeah. Now, I will say one thing, guys, and this doesn't really help you, but it could. It's a crazy thing watching the heartbeat of the con shift between and after games. So if you know you're trying to eat and you only have an hour to go, don't go to the hotel bar. You're door dashing, you're going across the street to McDonald's or something else, or you're ordering that. But if you don't have a game slot, go to the hotel bar. If you're there between 2 and 6, it's going to be you and 3 other people in that area. But as soon as you get in between games where everyone is let out and trying to get food before they get to their next event, it's impossible. It's impossible.
That's one of those reasons I buy groceries too, so I can have like some snacky shit in my bag just in case.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Agreed. So that's the food situation. At least on campus again. We're good to go there. We talked about special guests.
Is Matt the one with the eyes?
Who asked that? I ought to send this particular clip to the hotel just so they can hear us gushing on Matt.
That's fucking hilarious.
That make Matt's day. That's amazing. All right, Bucho, I'm looking at the time and I'm looking at convention experiences. I think we're good. You want to just drop down to COVID?
Let's rock and roll, girl. Let's rock
All right,
and roll.
guys. We do this every year. Welcome to post-pandemic, whatever it is, reality we're having. So far, if we're looking at, let's say, 540 attendees, I'm aware, Bridgett just personally is aware of 16 people that walked out with COVID. Last I heard, the last of the ones, at least in Symphony, because Symphony got super hard, are starting just now to start testing negative and come back up from air. I'm pretty sure Paxlovid went through Symphony like nobody's business.
Damn.
Yeah, which is about the same numbers that we had last year, too. But I think Chaosium took the brunt of the damage last year. I feel like 7 or 8 people just from Chaosium got COVID. And this year it was like 12 people from Symphony that got it.
Well.
Yeah.
Just building up a case for that LARP orgy.
You're right. Oh, God. That's so good.
Playing a game of Who's in My Mouth.
I love us so much, Bucho. Oh, God, I love it. Okay. Bucho, let's do, unless you object, me looking at this menu, you want to do a handful of backer questions, get some thirst on, finish off with the backer questions, give away and go home, or thirst, all backer questions, give away and go home?
Let's do questions.
Okay.
I want to keep that thirst for a little bit. Just keep them
edged. Yeah, keep them wanting it. You know they're dripping for it. They need it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I will tee up this one, and then chat if you guys have Chuck. If you guys have questions for Bucho and I, feel free to throw them in the chat. These are the questions I was able to collect from both backers and like Symphony has a Chaosium Con 2025 channel. Bucho, what was your favorite aspect of the con?
This year, probably just trying more new places. So for instance, the food wise, which I know we just talked about this, and it's kind of dickish for me to say it again, but like there was a Mediterranean spot that we tried. I finally got some Detroit pizza this year. This was something I really wanted to do. But then there's always the first trip with the crew to the House of Dank.
The House of Dank trip, to the dispensary on Wednesday. Yeah.
Running errands on Wednesday before just settling in for the night. Like that's always a really good. That's when I can like relax. Like I'm no longer traveling. Like I've checked into the hotel.
The House of Dank trip is just a beautiful thing. Symphony gathering up in 1, now we're up to 2. Next year we'll probably be 3 or 4 cars all just avalanching on the House of Dank so we can get situated for the whole week. Yeah. Nope, it's a study time. One of my favorite aspects of the con was actually an off-campus experience too. The Symphony breakfast on Thursday morning just makes me happy. There's something about sitting in that diner with that same waitress that we've had 3 years in a row, getting a massive skillet of hash browns and just delicious sausage gravy and meat, and sitting next to Bucho and being obnoxious and loud and flirting with each other and throwing stuff at each other and trying each other's food. And just
those non-Symphony customers fucking hated us. Hated us.
Oh, they hate us so bad. And we
Yeah.
don't care. We're so unapologetic about it. So that's one of my favorite aspects of the con this year and previous years. It's just that Symphony breakfast. It's just such a delight. It's a great way to start my morning and start getting things going.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What is something that you'd like to see differently for next year?
So this is an interesting question for me, guys. If you're not aware, I helped organize the first con with Todd, and then I was over programming for the second, third, and fourth year. So it's myself, Rick, and Jeremiah that run this con. This was my last year organizing the con. So next year I'll just be attending as a Chaosium employee. I'll be running VIP games. You'll see me likely more at tables. So it's kind of hard for me to address what I'd like to see differently this year because I need to actually kind of like pivot out of, I'm not organizing, so I don't need to think in that capacity anymore.
Mhm.
But if I had to guess something that I would like to see differently next year, like the first thing I want to say is, and this is just me, you know, as an advocate for the company, if we book the entire fucking hotel out, give us food and beverage credit at the bar. We're the only people in the hotel. It's just us. Just give us the food and credit at the bar, or at least give us the option to say, hey, I am with the Chaosium Con, apply this to that. But that's like a weird internal logistics. As far as the experience-wise, what I would like to see for next year, or would like to see differently for next year, I don't know, baby. I don't have anything that's actually on the top of my head. Like, Jesus, I really, really wish we would have had this differently next year. How about you?
A pool.
Bucho's like, hold on, let me stretch out my wrist. yeah, we're ready, Bucho. What would you like to see differently for next year?
I mean, no shit. But that's just me. As someone, when I leave town and I get a hotel, like I like having a pool because it is good exercise for my back and for my legs, and it tends to just be a good thing for me to have. Realistically, I don't know. I mean, beyond experience-wise, I really liked, and I don't think this is a Chaosium-based solution thing, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think it's something that they need to do. But Alyssa Fadden was doing her long run of Horror on the Orient Express, right? And so I think it would be cool to have more of those long form games available, like, because there's never going to be a time in my personal life where I'm probably going to get to play that. And so doing like even a truncated version at the con, and I would know that the experience would be a much different one than if I'd played it at home.
Yeah.
But maybe more of those like more campaign, not even campaign length, but like longer stretch games.
Okay.
Yeah. Just as an idea.
No, I like that.
Not necessarily a need by any means, but
something
I just
like
thought
to see.
I thought that was just an interesting concept. Yeah.
Yeah, that room looked like they were having a blast too. So this is just
never saw it.
Talk about running, honey. So Bucho, I 102% agree with you that more longer forms, multi-session games would be great. This is my fear as an organizer and my fear as an attendee. That GM gets COVID. All of our events typically sell out at Chaosium Con. So if the GM can't make it,
suck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, suddenly you're 16 hours without programming and everything else is sold out. That's a terrible position to be in for you. It's a risk.
100%.
Yeah, it's a risk. But I also agree we should see more of that.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hey, what's the best meal that you ate?
Oh.
We're back to food, I know.
Honestly, it's got to be that Sunday morning breakfast at Bellflower.
Oh, Bellflower. Yeah. That Bellflower went hard. Yeah.
Like it was a very simple breakfast, but it was just real nice. Yeah. Like, and I think our server, knew we were going to be one of those tables. He's like, yeah, cool. Great.
Y'all live y'all truth. Yep.
I didn't even care about the other tables. Like, yeah, they're annoyed, but I'm making money, so whatever. Cool.
They're annoyed by us? No, yeah. I can't imagine.
He was very chill.
Yeah, agreed. That's a delicious meal. That's one of my highlights of the convention too. My best meal I had was with Rena and Cup at this tapas place in downtown Ann Arbor. This is the second year that we've done it. We sneak away on, I think, Saturday night, and it's just It's tapas, honey.
Yeah.
Tapas, however you pronounce it. Whatever it is, it's little small plates of deliciousness. And I enjoy it every fucking time. Ah. All right.
What is something that surprised you this year?
Go
I got a couple.
ahead. You jump out. Go get it.
Well, and this is more with the hotel, but like I was surprised that the convention bathroom upstairs was it the upstairs one or the downstairs one was just under construction.
Yeah. Just.
Like it had been destroyed and it was under construction.
Yeah.
And that was a strange one. I actually had to go back to my room to use the bathroom because I was like, nah,
we're not. Nope. Nah.
But on a positive one, the size of the banquet halls,
Yeah.
being able to have a bunch of people in there who could game in not peace and quiet, but didn't have to worry about other tables overshadowing
Yeah.
the narrative happening at their table, which was great. Like I didn't even realize that was a possibility back there. So being able to see those far distances was nice.
Yeah. Agreed. Something that surprised me, and I told myself I wasn't going to mention it on this stream, but I can't just because it's just still too funny to me, is that Sandy Peterson was interrupting ongoing games, asking people if they knew who he was or what he contributed to Call of Cthulhu. I don't know why, but every time I think about the con, I laugh about that. And it surprises me every time because that one is just fucking funny to me. The other thing that surprised me in a also positive but a fun light is just how amazingly slim our attendance looked just because we opened up another 40 tables. To me, that is just like, that was super surprising. Just to walk through, it's like, God, I feel like we're not down this year. We're
up.
We're up this year.
Yeah.
We're just spread out.
That was the weird perspective. Like you walk over there, it's like, well, all right, my game is down here and I got to walk all the way down this banquet hall to the table.
Right.
Past like 30 other tables. And I don't see anybody. Yeah, it was it was all perception for sure. Yeah.
Yep. I'm just going to do this one really fast, and we don't have to do every question, but I do think these are funny. Bucho, how dare you, and who do you think you are?
I'm Bucho. I'm production daddy. That's who the fuck I am.
Done. Sold. I dare somebody to say something else to him. What was your... We've already kind of talked about what's your non-gaming favorite official con vendor moment. We both kind of have those things that we've addressed. Did you purchase anything super neat or cool at the dealer hall?
I did not buy anything at the dealer hall this year because my bag was already all my bags were too tightly packed.
Yeah.
But also there wasn't anything new that I needed or that I wanted to get. I didn't know the last couple of years they've had stuff come out early at the con before being released to the general public, which has been cool. And I think they had some of that this time around, but it wasn't Cthulhu stuff that I wanted or needed. Like Gaslight is not it's not a what's the word I'm looking for?
Preferred genre.
It's not the setting for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a thing. Even though I love the leatherette cover, I think is fucking gorgeous.
Oh yeah, that green is stunning. That jungle green is dope.
Around the Gaslight with the tentacle,
it's super dope.
Yeah, it's great. But there was just nothing that I had interest in buying. So
yeah. For the dealer hall, and this is something that I'm noticing going on to year 4. One, just let me stop. 2025 is a big challenge for a lot of people. So we had a fully booked artist atrium, and then by the time the con launched, we were down to like 4 people. Tom Sullivan, Colored Cats Designs, the Pine Gox people, Sumro, the guy that was selling the plushies, and then Edwin Malavi, who actually did the cover of Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory and a bunch of the art in it too. I had every one of those tables booked out, but I had a couple people from Canada's like, nah, sorry. Yeah. I had a couple people's like, shipping and tariffs, nah, sorry. So we had a few blank tables in the dealer hall and outside because in the 11th hour, people were like, we can't. And in the 11th hour, it's hard to like cycle back to everyone that you've previously denied and be like, come on down. And they're just like, with 10 minutes notice? No.
Yeah. That makes it tough.
It is.
But I will say like that the artist area still felt very full. Like in that lobby area around the stairs, it still felt good and like it took up the space.
Yeah.
And it was there was a ton of art, ton
Yeah,
of
there
great shit up
was.
there.
There was, and I love Summer. Summer and Fred make me very happy. With that being said, Bucho, you touched on something else. Nothing new released at this Chaosium Con.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the, I can't wait to get your hands on something that no one else can. And we didn't have anything new released at this Chaosium Con. I was talking to Jared over at Beit Al Azif, and he was experiencing something different. It's like most of the fans that came by already own everything that's on the table. So unless I'm engaging with new fans that don't own issues 1 through 5 or aren't picking up, these new books by, the other publishers that he kind of like, hangs
Yeah.
out with, it's a niche con. So unless you have something new, it can be hard to kind of see a lot of those sales from like the publisher standpoint right now. Like I don't think HP Lovecraft Historical Society had anything new out this year either.
Nope, they had a bunch of really nice pens. I know they were selling sets of those. I think some of those were new.
Or new,
I think. But yeah, like I've got all the Beit Al Azif magazines, and
Right.
everything I've got from Chaosium,
You've already
got
had.
it.
Right.
So
yeah.
okay.
So one thing I did spend a lot of money on, I tore poor Craig up over at Black Oak Workshop. I got so many dice from him. I've been giving away dice. I've been turning around guys. This is just one handful of dice that I got from him. But I also have 3 or 4 packages on the floor that are going to go to the post office on Monday with more dice that I'm sending to backers and things of that nature. I love Craig over at Black Oak Games Workshop. And I love his dice. But really, I would just throw money at him because it's him. I did the backer giveaway. Symphony, if you're not aware, every single time I go to a convention, I go to the dealer hall, I take a picture or a video, and then I ping all of the backers in Discord. And the first couple that, sound out get a book or dice or whatever. So I did the ping at his booth because I love him. Got the freebies out, and then another one of our backers, and baby girl, if you're still in the chat, the secret shopper. Can I call you out and tell you about that? And if I'll wait till I go back. Tracy, can I tell him about it? Yes, I love Tracy. Tracy is amazing. So Tracy hits me back and is like, I need to buy a lot of shit, and then sent me a whole list of shit that she wanted from the Black Oaks Games Workshop. He was so delighted to be getting a remote order from a backer. He threw in a bunch of different dice. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff. So yeah, Tracy literally threw so much money at this vendor and unfortunately couldn't make the con, but got there remotely. Also, wow. Tracy, hold on. Since you're sitting here, this is going into the mail for you. I don't have your address showing. This is going into the mail for you on Monday. Because our next LARP game isn't until the bottom of May, I didn't want you guys to wait that long, and I didn't want to take a chance of forgetting. So your package is going in the mail on Monday. So if you get a random package at your door, yes, that's from me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, right. Let's do one more of these questions.
Okay.
What are you most looking forward to for next year? Because your role is going to be changing. So
yeah.
How are things going to look for you as if you're not helping organize? What are you looking forward to?
2 major things, Bucho. In total transparency, I am looking forward to not going through 60, 90 days of frantic scrambling leading up to the con.
Sure.
That just negatively impacts my experience.
I imagine there's a lot of shit that leads up to it. Yeah.
Oh my God. There's so much weight and exhaustion that leads up to launching that con successfully. And just to know that I don't have to go on a 90-day can barely breathe sprint to get to the event and then have to be turned up to 120% and then stay there for 5 days. That is going to be a relief just to be able to walk into that convention without all of that. What did I miss? What fire is going to break out? Why am I arguing with this person again? Just not to have to deal with any of that walking into it is going to be a relief. The second thing that I'm genuinely looking forward to now that I can slow down is other ways that I can activate Symphony at this convention. I'm super excited about exploring that. Like I'm not being funny about the ritual. I want to see a midnight ritual and see what that looks like with some candles and us being obnoxious and having a good fun. I'm also very not joking about Symphony After Dark Dungeon. Like I'm excited to explore what type of other programming I can do so I can spend more time with you guys versus just barely flying by you with a quick hug in the hallway.
Yeah. There is something to be said for adding the ritual to the LARP. as well.
Very true. Very
'Cause
true.
it will be late at night when it's happening,
It'd be a good time to do that ritual.
and it would be a fucking spectacle and a half.
It would be a spectacle and a half. Yeah. Yeah. And because it takes place on Thursday nights during that mixer, a lot of those rooms are empty, so we can spread out a little bit more. Yeah. Like,
And
just
you
imagine
walk, you
us.
just can I mean, think about it. Like the mixer will be going on,
Yeah.
like, and then you walk from the LARP area down through the bar area,
Yeah.
down the stairs, out the back door to the fire pits, and it's just robed figures not saying anything.
Robe figures not saying anything with like tea candles going. Or the
Yeah.
fire pit if we can get it turned on for less than $50. But it's the hotel. Who knows? What are you most looking forward to next year, baby?
Always playing new games that I've not played before. Typically under people who I know how to run a game.
Yeah.
I like playing the VIP games because
Those are good.
they're so much fun. I've gotten to play some really great ones that are potentially coming out in future Chaosium releases, written by David Larkins and Paul Fricker, and they're just really good games. Like they're always a blast. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to the most is just more of those. I really like the VIP games. I've had a really good time at every VIP game I've played. So
you do 2 a year, don't you?
Oh, I try to do as many as possible. Yeah.
I just wouldn't have pinged you for that being something that you definitely look forward to every year, Bucho. I mean, I love to hear it, but that's pretty dope that one of your big things that you would do is freaking the VIP games. Dope.
Well, because like last year I did Mike Mason. He ran Aurora Blue.
Yeah.
Which was a good time. I can't remember if it was last year that Paul Fricker did Penetralia.
Oh, that might have been last year. Yeah.
I think it was last year. And then the year before that, David Larkins was running one that I think I can't even say that, I don't think. But it was great. It was set in a house, and he utilized this really interesting dungeon mechanic for it, which kind of informed one of my own scenarios that I'm still working on. And it was just when you see interesting things coming out in unpublished scenarios, it's like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, cool. All right.
But it's about to be a thing now. Okay, so
yeah.
I like it.
That's what I like.
All right. Daddy, can we do the thing?
We can do the thing.
Okay. Thank you. We're all really excited to do the thing. Do it slow?
Do it real slow.
Okay, but I already put the timer on it, Daddy. So we're going to do the best we can. Guys, it's time to enjoy the only reason we're all at Symphony. Here is your thirst trap.
My reactions are going to be slower because You're looking at
the Twitch?
I'm looking at Twitch, so I'm like a few seconds behind.
Oh, okay. Listen, then what I would do is I will hop on the Twitch with you and we'll overlap as we can. Guys, we'll see you on the back part of the thirst. This is the Symphony backer thirst. All right, Bucho, I'm over here with you on Twitch. God, look at Chantel and Tara. Oh, God.
Shout outs to Tara for all that work, too.
Oh, yes.
She fucking hustled. Skipper.
Look at Skip. This is probably one of my favorite pictures of Skip. No, the pirate picture with the earring actually does it for me, too.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm a big fan of Nick and this Nosferatu mask. Just the angle is everything. The power, just even the hand in the pocket makes me happy. Oh, God. Nick, you're so damn delicious.
That is an outfit and a half.
Chantel in a boutique oddity store. Fucking Rena.
Oof.
Waking up to Rena, honey, is a delicious thing. That is stunning. Also, I want to eat every piece of Andy at all times. Doesn't matter. In chat, on a stream, on a recording, anywhere. Anyway, I just want to eat. I love our pirates right here.
That is a duo and a half right there.
Oh, God. Jesus. Look at the corset. This over moisturized, luxurious fucking hair.
My con roommate. God, he gives the best late night snuggles.
the best. Like this does look like Perry's hosting court.
It does. He's at the UN.
Like, yes, Perry's like, look at who you came to see. I love some Tiffany so fucking much. And
Yeah,
Tiffany,
it was
everything. Oh,
awesome getting to meet her this year, finally.
oh my God. And the goddamn eye makeup is always a mess.
Ooh, hey, bitch.
Hey, bitch, who is that heifer?
What's your name?
Yes.
What's your number?
Clutch those fake pearls, honey. Back again, Tara, massive thank you for the entire balloon arch and for blowing that up with Andrew and the friends from Myth Brigade that made all that happen. Genuinely thank you. All right. Do you want to do another round on it, Bucho, or does that satisfy our thirst?
I mean, is the thirst ever really satisfied?
The thirst is never satisfied. I will also agree, but this,
I mean,
I know.
it cannot be quenched.
The Symphony thirst cannot be quenched, which makes me think. Also, Bucho, massive thank you to you.
For what?
These goddamn lanyards that you designed and purchased for Symphony.
Oh.
Like massive. You want to talk about thirst? The Symphony lanyards that you guys. Wait, hold on. Zoom has done that thing where it's frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So I
was just gonna say.
Yeah, we're gonna sit here and wait for it to unfreeze. For everything that is worth. Oh, we're back. Bucho designed the Symphony lanyards that I'm sending to every single backer. I think that's either 5 up or 10 up. I have to look at the requirements and the number here.
Well, what's that shit say, girl? What's that shit say?
Listen, baby. Listen, Daddy. What it says is, come for the horror, stay for the thirst. Putting the hoe in Symphony. Guys, these were all Bucho. Bucho, can you please tell them the story of these damn lanyards? Because these showed up at my house and I didn't even know what they were.
What is the story? So I work in marketing.
Yeah.
And there's always something new that can be done for a client or for a campaign. And I'm constantly surprised and impressed with a lot of the stuff that comes out of my own company. Not because the people I work with are idiots. It's always fun to see it. They're not like they're brilliant people. It's always nice to see really. It's good to see marketing being done in smart and good and educational ways.
Yes,
which is not always what happens, but it's nice to see those things. Which is all to say, like there are ways to hype Symphony as a brand, and wearing a Symphony lanyard at a con where all of us are, where the majority of us were going to be, seemed to make the most amount of sense. So I started messing around with a couple of designs, and then finally bit the bullet at the start of the year and bought some and sent them to her. I was like, hey, bitch, you got a package coming.
I was like, oh, what's in the package? He's like, I'm not going to tell you.
So she's been sitting on those for a cool minute.
I have. They arrived in like January, and we decided we were going to debut them at Chaosium Con. So yeah, they've been sitting in that box by my desk, burning a hole in my excitement. So oh, absolutely delicious. Bucho, genuinely thank you for that. All right, sexy people, let's do these damn giveaways. Bucho, you got me on the back end?
I do.
All right, honey pie.
Give me 2 seconds.
You're okay, because I don't have me on the front end. So let me find my surprise face.
So I am ready to go, but I'm also going to put up 2 links in the chat for those paying attention. The first one is a link to Keeper Doc's recap of the con. And then I'm also going to put a link up to my recap of the con.
Nice. Yes.
And there we go. And now, yeah.
All right, babies. Mama. Let's do these damn giveaways.
What's coming first?
All right, honey pie. The very first thing we're going to do is, this was a new thing that Chaosium, this is a new thing that I trialed out this year as in my new position with Chaosium, which is nothing to do with conventions, but more to do with like community support. So Rick had a handful of books that had dings in them, and we don't sell ding books. So versus throwing them away, he was like, here, go give them away to people. So I started going through the con, crashing people's gaming spaces or even the lobby, and doing like trivia or fun stories or whatever to win these ding books. So I did steal a ding book. So this is a dinged book. I did steal a dinged copy of the Call of Cthulhu Investigator's Handbook that we are going to give away tonight. I'm getting ready to draw that bad boy now, guys. This book is probably £1.50, and I'm not spending $75 to ship it to Ireland. So listen, love me through the fact that I am shipping to the continental U.S. only. Y'all just gonna have to love me through it. Media mail don't work over there, and there's a whole situation shipping the world. So for the winner of the Investigator's Handbook is going to be Hapless Mage. Congratulations, Nathan. I'm pretty sure, guys, I have your guys' address on file through your Patreon subscription. So I will get that mailed to you actually on Monday. All right, Bucho, you ready for my next one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, gorgeous.
I got the list over here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, in the shared Google Drive. Yep.
Yep, there it is.
All right, guys.
MSC.
Yep. Next one we're going to be doing is a signed copy of the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory. This is a Cthulhu Dark campaign that obviously wasn't on sale at Chaosium Con because it's not a Chaosium product, but the artist, Edwin Molavy, who did that delicious cover art and then also several of the art throughout the book, was there selling prints. It looks like Tiffany actually picked up a print. So signed copy of MSC is going over to Mythical Magpie. Shit, Tracy, do you already own this? Did I already give you a signed copy of this? If not, you're about to get another one. But I'm not about to ship this one to you too. Your envelope is already sealed, so you are just going to have to wait until I see you at our next LARP, and I'll bring that to you. Do you already have it? You don't? Okay, maybe I gave you It doesn't. Okay, beautiful. Perfect. I'll get that signed to you guys. All right. The next one we're going to do that I forgot to bring out is I stole a bunch of product from the con from Chaosium. So I have a Chaosium Con 50th anniversary sticker, a pin, a Chaosium lanyard, and a Chaosium what's it called? Dice bag that we're going to be doing out. So we're just calling this the Chaosium swag bag. This might be really amazing for you if you couldn't make the convention. And if you did, you're just getting free shit. So enjoy. And this winner is Lily. Congrats, Lily. Lily, I think I have your address in the portal, baby. I think I do. Hold on. Instead of, I'm going to hold everyone hostage while I do my admin work live right here on camera.
That's fine, because I just remembered another one of my favorite moments from the con was teaching Lily and Brian and Nate how to play a card game that my homeboys and I in high school used to play like every weekend, and still to this day, like at weddings, we'll set up tables and play this game for hours on end. So yeah, that was fun.
Let me tell you something that I just genuinely enjoy about Lily. Lily, I do have your address and you just confirmed it. Yep, you're good to go. I got your address in the backer portal. Lily has a standing vibe that's from an era that I can't place, but it's like really intoxicating to look at. I don't know if it's like 40s or 30s, but I just get the
mid-50s pinup vibe.
Is that what it is? Mid-50s pinup vibe with like the 100%. Red glasses and the hair. Yeah. Just like Lily is just enjoyable to look at.
Yeah.
Like she's just fun to look at. Like every time I see her, I just feel like you don't belong in this era, and I enjoy staring at you. Pinup. Everyone is doing the pinup. Yep, that's exactly what it is. All right. And guys, the last giveaway is a Symphony bag. So whether you're a backer or not, you're going to get a lanyard, you're going to get some stickers, you're going to get some pins, and I'll get you a t-shirt the very next time Redbubble puts one on sale for 50% off or 30% off or something like that. I got you. So the winner for that bad boy is going to be Rena Destroyer. Rena, Destroyer of Souls. The inevitable, the one and the only. Amazing. Guys, thank you for the massive numbers in the show out right here. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for just showing up and being awesome. Bucho, closing thoughts, baby. What do you have for us before we go home?
I love our people. That's my closing thought. They're good people. And I think the more time that passes, the more important it is to be surrounded by good people. So, yeah.
I'm going to wait for stupid Zoom to unfreeze itself. And it has. Bucho, I can't top that. One of my favorite aspects of Chaosium Con is the Symphony presence. It really is. It's the Symphony presence because, to your point, you can't top good people.
Nope.
You just can't. So Symphony.
When you find them, you keep them.
You find them, you keep them. You find them, you defend them. You find them, you celebrate them. You find them, you protect them. And Symphony, you guys are incredible. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my brand. Bucho, thank you for keeping me together when I'm constantly unraveling at the seams. Carl, you just make Symphony look better all the goddamn time.
100%.
All the time. From the assets to the flyers to the videos. You just make everything better. Backers, every single one of you that is throwing money at me, thank you. I genuinely appreciate it. And everyone who supports our streams, whether that because you're a cast member or because you watch them or you engage or you throw subs at me, even if all you're doing is resharing a post, like Antonio is good for it. Listen, the day Antonio doesn't reshare one of my posts, I'm going to have to tag him. It's like, are you mad at me? Because that baby will defend this industry with every ounce of his soul. And meeting him was definitely one of the highlights of my Chaosium Con.
I have a question.
Nope. Go ahead, baby.
Who is throwing subs at you, and how do I get someone to throw submissives at me?
I love you guys.